Selwood and Warner deep. Hawkins grabs it out of the ruck as he does. Snaps it round the body. Hawkins with the opener in the 2022 Grand Final. Bangs it home. And the Cats are on the board, 1-1. Sydney yet to score. Triple M Pepperjack Wine scoreboard.
It's almost the opposite for last week for Tom Hickey, so that's the second time in a ruck contest he's actually been pushed out of the way and the ball's been taken away from him. So the first one was Blicavs on centre wing and they went forward. On that occasion it was Tom Hawkins. Last week he was the one doing that to Darcy Cameron. He's come up against two very different ruckmen today who have pushed him out of the way, and now he goes back to the middle going, my next contest needs to be massive.
Dunstall, you got Nate Brown, Seabus Super making hard work pay off, and the Cats now inside forward 50. Hawkins clean possession from the ruck again. Has he got the second goal in the same manner? He has. Tom Hawkins has owned Tom Hickey twice. First two goals from just manhandling the Swans ruckman. Hawkins gets the first two of the grand final. That is huge on the Triple M Pepperjack Wine scoreboard. 2-1-13. Swans yet to score. Ouch.
It's extraordinary to think that the Swans would allow that to happen after that was the cause for the first goal. It was really interesting, Brownie, after it did happen. I mean, Hawkins just uses his muscle, pushes the ruckman out of the way, takes the ball out of the ruck and kicks the goal. Three Swans players went over to Tommy McCartan.
Cam Guthrie wins it at ground level. Centre clearance goes away. The Cats. Tricky bounce. Fisted forward by Stengle. Inside 50. Cameron leads in the race. He's got the agility to get away from Fox. Hands it back to Danger. Rowbottom gave chase. Danger slipped the tackle. Puts it to the top of the square. The kick's going to favour Blicavs. Takes an uncontested mark. He had Luke Parker bearing down on him, but he really didn't get a play on it. Blicavs can kick the Cats' third goal.
Importantly, centre clearance for the Cats. They'd lost the first three to Sydney. Cam Guthrie doing very well for Geelong. And Dangerfield just seeing the matchup. Kick long to the big man.
Mark Blicavs, what a player. What an asset he is for the Cats. Left foot snap, makes no mistake. Cats go to 3-1-19. The Swans won straight 6. That's all on the Triple M Pepperjack Wine scoreboard.
It's the great thing about a matchup with Blicavs in the midfield, Brownie. If he pushes forward, he automatically has an advantage.
Absolutely, Chief, and you've got to think about what's going on with the Sydney rucks at the moment. So the first two goals have been a result of the ruckman being pushed out of the way by Tom Hawkins. Then the new ruckman comes in, takes his first centre bounce, misses the tackle on Cameron Guthrie when he should have wrapped him up with his size McLean. He didn't wrap him up. Guthrie gets the ball forward. It's a scrambly ball, but Geelong do the best of it and get the footy. Then you've got to wonder where McLean is. He's playing on Blicavs at that point. Blicavs pushes forward and takes a mark. So the first three goals of this game for the Cats have been a result of Sydney ruck.
McDonald's, Ream, Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Hawkins has got a couple and Blicavs, Hayward for the Swans. And the Swans lead at 3-1 to 1 straight. Dominating all around the ground at the moment, Sydney. Papley spending some time in the middle, overruns it. Dangerfield doesn't, goes back to Selwood. Now Stanley throws it onto the boot. Another inside 50 ball for the Cats. Well played by the Swans defender. Spills out the back. Isaac Smith knows what it's about on grand final day. He's done it for the Hawks. Now he's done it for the Cats. And they're away to a flyer. Every Swans fan's nightmare. 4-1 to 1 straight. Triple M Pepperjack Wine scoreboard.
Scores from stoppages, Chief. 4 straight to 0 at the moment. That one was a bit of a lucky one, but they still had to win the clearance. And Isaac Smith, the bounce of the ball, sometimes you get it lucky. Sometimes you just don't know why the ball popped out of that pack. It came off the back of the Sydney player, and Isaac Smith said thank you. Still had to be able to nail it and kick the goal, and he's got a big smile on his face.
He had a quiet one last week, Isaac Smith. He'll love getting his hands on the pill, hitting the scoreboard, Brownie. The reason he's smiling, well, he's normally happy, but you get your confidence up in a big game when you get a touch and you have an important touch. He just kept following the ball. He tracked the ball at ground level, and it was just a little mongrel tumble punt, but it got the job done.
Stanley steps around, gives it to Cameron. They're doing it easily at the moment. The Cats, here's trouble, goes inside to Close. Fisted away by Rampy, spills out to Selwood, inside 50. They're queuing up. Smith waltzes through a tackle. Isaac Smith, he's got 2 in 2 minutes. The Cats fans are up all around the country. And in the blink of an eye, it's a 25-point margin, 5-1 to 1 straight. Triple M Pepperjack Wine scoreboard, and Isaac Smith goes bang, bang.
Winning all the big moments at the moment. So you think of all the big moments in this game. The tackle out here on road bottom. Player comes from nowhere and lays that tackle. All of a sudden, the bounce of the ball goes to Isaac Smith, but one stat in this game so far, as good as Geelong been, plus 13 in contested possessions. So we see Dangerfield win the second last stoppage away from Papley, moves them forward. He won the very next one. Even though Tom Hawkins didn't take the mark, all of a sudden Sydney players are thinking Dangerfield's up and about. They're routing us in the clearances, but they're plus 13 in contested possession.
Well, the big guns for Geelong in regards to experienced players getting a fair bit of the pill. Selwood 7, Duncan 6, Hawkins 6 and 2 goals, and Dangerfield also with 6 touches.
Out to a 25-point lead. Still a touch over 6 minutes remaining in this first term.
Inside 50s, Chew.
Inside 50s, 16-8 Geelong's way.
16-8. It's a domination by the Cats everywhere, including the scoreboard. They lead at 32-6. The Cats just go inside, attack again. This time falls in the hands of Close. And the Swans can't get it forward to the centre at the moment. So Close marks about 40 out, 2 metres inside the boundary. This is a hammer blow early if Brad Close can go and knock this through.
Yeah, you feel for the Sydney defenders. It's just repeat 50s. As soon as it goes out, it's coming back quickly, making life a nightmare if you're playing down back for the Swans.
24 goals, 20 this year for the man from North Gambia. The 24-year-old playing in his 55th and most important game. From a tight angle, Close lines it up, sends it home. Another one for the Cats. He turns to the crowd and says, "What about that?" The Cats are 6-2. Sydney are 1 straight. And this is disappearing away from the Swans at a rate of knots at the moment. 32-point margin, 3:22 to go first term.
So the one thing that John Longmire will be looking at the moment is last week against Collingwood, they held onto the football. They found targets. When they went forward, they lowered the eyes, and they, almost like a game of keepings off. So far, the uncontested marks are 26-9. Sydney haven't been able to find any targets today. So they've had to go long down the line time and time again. Even that kick out there, it was long, it was out to the flank, it was fisted back, it lands in the hands of Isaac Smith, who tumbles it forward and just repeat inside 50s. Sydney haven't been able to settle. They haven't been able to get an uncontested mark. Geelong haven't allowed them to either.
Goulden's got back off a wing to help out, but he's kicked it straight back into the arms of Jed Buse.
There was no one to go to, so Buse will just spin it round back inside 50 to Stengle.
Well, he had players to go to, Howard. He should have been feeding the handball around. There was 3 players around him in the goal square. If they had to just handballed it around, held onto the football and then run it out, but he elected to go onto his left foot, which was against the boundary line, and to kick it out, he made a poor in judgment. 49
goals, 26 this year for Tyson Stengle. With 100,000 people watching his every move to kick his side's 7th goal from 49 metres. Trots in now, first real opportunity for Stengle. Leans back and just sends it through the middle. 50 for the year for T. Stengle. The Cats are up by 40 points. 7-5 to 1-1. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. What a season he's had, that man, Stengle.
I thought it was really clever of Mark Blicavs. He was the one when Goulden had that ball, Brownie, on the goal line. Goulden had to come back the other way. That's where his support was. But Blicavs just jockeyed him, allowed him to go and keep going forward, which, as you say, was actually the wrong side for a left footer. So when he kicks it long, he can't actually pinpoint a teammate. He kicks it to the opposition. They turn around, quick chip back into Stengle, and he has just become such a trump card for the Cats, a revelation this year. Hats off to him for the year that he's had, Tyson Stengle.
Dangerfield gets it out of the contest, sends it deep towards Hawkins. McCartan's held him.
They've been having some great one-on-one battles, and Tommy McCartan's been holding his own, but the big monster was in front, used his body, used his strength, and just forced McCartan to drag him to the ground. He put both arms around him. Once you do that, you've got to pay the free kick.
So it's slightly against the flow of play. A good patch for Sydney. They couldn't really nail it on the scoreboard. So Hawkins will line up for his 3rd goal. Halfway through the second term, Harvey Norman replay just grabbed him for a moment. Get the new HP NVX 360 available now at Harvey Norman. Hawkins from 30 metres out, 10 metres inside the boundary. Members side, kicks it absolutely perfectly, does the Hawk. He's got 3. It's another one for the Cats. They bring up the 50, 8-7-55. The Swans 2-1-13. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
So you have to go back all the way to the back pocket, under pressure. They've been pumping up Sydney the last 5 minutes, multiple entries inside forward 50. The Cats couldn't get out. They had Zach Tui read the football into the back pocket. He's under pressure. He's been corralled into the back pocket, and he just picks off a kick to Brad Close, which Sydney haven't been able to do, and it just relieves all the pressure that they've been absorbing. And then they get an easy entry, and then they get the ball to centre wing, and they're away again. Then they go forward, and Tom Hawkins kicks the goal. He doesn't do that if Zach Tui doesn't manufacture the kick he did. They can't allow Geelong to score again in this half. They need to be able to hold them.
Just for the Swans with a contested ball, they were down by 9-10 at quarter time. In this term, they've broken even. Warner, 7 touches in this quarter.
All-important centre clearance. Dangerfield, brilliant. Got it to Atkins. Got through a row-bottom tackle. Out to Stengle. Kick was perfect. They have got the answers, the Cats. Tyson Stengle turns around and sizes up a 47-metre kick, 45-degree angle.
Doesn't miss too many either, Duke.
Danger was huge.
15 gone.
Just that contested ball animal that he is. Still got his leg speed. Tyson Stengle kicked his 50th goal for the year a little earlier in this quarter. All-Australian, running around in the SANFL last year, and now on the biggest stage of all, Stengle looks good. He's got a couple. Jeremy Cameron with a double fist pump, and they just get the quick reply. And the Swans are left reeling again. 9-7-61 to 3-1-19. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Blicavs with a high inside 50 ball. Here comes Isaac Smith. He's already got 2. Falls to Cameron. Unlucky bounce. Tom McCartan attacks it. Run down from behind. Big call. Massive call. Free kick. 20 out directly in front the way of Mitchy Duncan.
They had multiple opportunities to clear that footy, Sydney, at half-back, and they continue to fumble around and stuff it up, and they just didn't want to clear it. Double grabs, fumble, and then all of a sudden they get the footy back. They go inside forward 50. First opportunity they do, they lay a big tackle, and they're having a shot at goal.
Massive kick this.
15
Longmire would have said we need to start well. Let's get the opening goal. Let's build on that. Meanwhile, Mitch Duncan says, not sure about that, Sydney. From 25 out directly in front, Mitch Duncan knows about the big stage. Big early side from the Cats. They get their 10th, 10-8, 68. The Swans 4-2-26. Back out to that 42-point margin.
Beautiful kick to Isaac Smith. He gets going on the trusty left foot looking for Hawkins. The kick favoured Tom McCartan. And he takes that mark deep in defence. He's going to transfer. No, he's copped it up to Close. He's kicked it to Brad Close across the front of goal. A nightmare unfolding for Sydney.
5 metres.
That was just heartbreaking to watch. You could see it happening, and the kick went straight into the arms of Brad Close, and Swans fans can't watch.
A little bit of Gubby Allen.
Wait for the call. He's calling it.
So he shaped Stevie J style. Brad Close. Listen to the Geelong fans. They kick 2 quick ones. Close kicks his second. They're out to a 48-point lead. And she's just about shut the gate in the grand final. It's got that feel about it. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Chief still thinks they can come back.
Oh, well, I'm just starting to slide the other way, Brownie. I mean, if you ask Chris Scott, what's the one thing you want? I want to come out and start the third quarter well, because if we can reinforce those doubts, they're already trailing by 6 goals. If we can start well, it just snuffs out any hope or belief that they may have had. And this now is one of the greatest uphill struggles you've ever seen in front of Sydney.
Stengle back by hand to Cameron. Isaac Smith's kick 2. Isaac Smith, he has kicked 3! Hand in the air for this superstar on the way to a 4th flag. It's party time for the Cats. 12-8-80. The Swans 4-2-26. It's out to a game high 54-pointer on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting tradies, 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, a huge range of electric accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier. That's your game, Chief. That's your game right there.
Well, it's interesting. Zach Tui, as he's walking back, was pumping his fist to a bay of Geelong supporters down that end of the ground. They are fully focused, the Cats. They just want this so badly. They are not going to give an inch.
They're coming, the Cats. Atkins, they push it forward to close. Spills out towards Myers. They are relentless at the moment, Geelong. Still they move the ball forward. Comes down towards Cam Guthrie. He's got a couple of Swans to beat. One of them sits on top of the footy. Sits on top of the footy. Sits on top of the footy. It's against Florin. There'll be a free kick the way of the Cats as Selwood hugs Myers to say well done on the pressure.
Just a big tackle by Reece Stanley.
And it's Cam Guthrie who will line up for a fourth goal for the term for the Cats. They just willed the ball forward there, Chief.
15
Guthrie's going to go around the corner, and the way it's going, you might as well put it in your book. It's from a 45-degree angle. 12th disposal, Guthrie, goal. 4 in a row for the Cats this term. And if you are in any doubt, this game is done.
We're just
Cats.
seeing...
Sorry.
Just seeing an extraordinary performance from this footy club, and they've been the best all year, but they're up against a side who is just as good. But how he made comment in the first quarter about 20 minutes in, all the little things are just going Geelong's way today, again in that passage of play. So the ball just drops out, and every time it was a Geelong player on the end of it. They kept moving the ball forward, and eventually they get what they need.
It's the pinnacle performance for the Cats, isn't it? I mean, we knew they were the best team all year. They're playing at their very best, and it's impressive. But I don't think anyone predicted what we were going to see from Sydney, that they would be this just lethargic, almost out of the contest.
So 3-3 to Tom Hawkins. The Cats go to 13-9-87, 4-3-27 Sydney on the Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
They're going to struggle to get out of defence. Mills can't take the mark. Dangerfield bursts through the pack, gives it to Stengle, Tyson's got another one. He's got 3. It's party time in Geelong. They are decimating the Swans on the biggest stage of all. 14-9-93. The Swans 4-3-27. Triple M Beacon trade scoreboard.
The build-up of pressure has taken its toll. So they're dropping marks, they're double grabbing, and it's inviting the pressure of the Cats, who are just more than happy to accommodate them. They come streaming in. They're not allowing any easy possessions. They're not backing off. They're creating errors. It was the kick out straight up the middle. I think it was Rowbottom who should have marked the ball. Didn't take it cleanly. And then the numbers come charging through.
Dangerfield on 50, little slider. Stengle. He's coming late too. Is Tyson. He's tight on the pocket, but this will be number 4 on the biggest day of all, Noodles.
I reckon if you're talking about Norm Smith, Isaac Smith has got his nose just in front of danger at the moment.
Gee, he's going around the corner from a long, long way out, Tyson Stengle.
He got good contact on a ball wherever he kicks it from, though, Chief. His timing is impeccable.
He's got 3 as this man. He clicked up the 50th of the season with his first. Stengle from a long way out. Stengle, the man is a genius. Stengle's got 4, goes to the crowd and says, what about me? What about my footy team? Last year he was in the SANFL. This year his teammates are hugging him in the middle of the MCG because he's got 4 on grand final day, and it makes you smile.
So many storylines that we're going to enjoy as this last quarter wraps up. They're all for the Cats. Dangerfield flicks the handball out. He'll be a premiership player. Goes short, wins it back, Paddy.
Smith gives it to Paddy. I'm not sure that's his way to the Norm Smith.
And he gives it off to Jeremy Cameron when he could have had a goal. And Jezza arcs around, bombs one from 50, and stands there in double Cobra starfish celebration. Jeremy Cameron, he's crossed over from the Giants. And they are enjoying every second of this, the Cats. Party time at the MCG. Geelong 16-11-107. Sydney 5-3-33. And just having a look at Britt Selwood, Joel's pregnant wife. She's got tears of joy already. We're watching all that on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Not only have they been the best team all year, the Cats, but they've been the best team at giving the ball to a teammate in a better position. And that occasion then, Paddy Dangerfield gives it out to Isaac Smith, who didn't hesitate to give it back because he knew that Paddy Dangerfield was in a goal-scoring position. Other clubs will bomb that in or try and run it in themselves, and then Dangerfield obviously gets the wraparound from Jeremy Cameron. Probably wasn't on. You probably wouldn't do it in a normal game, but this deep into a grand final when you're that far up, Jeremy Cameron gets his first.
Danger can slot this goal from outside 50. It gives the selectors something to think about. Pretty good-looking effort just across the face. Trying to take the mark. Blicavs almost claimed it on the second attempt. Zach Tui, game 250, gets it to close. Parfitt, the medical sub. It's a fairy tale at the MCG. Parfitt's been on the ground 30 seconds, and look at them come from everywhere. Just about every Cat player on the field embracing Brandan Parfitt. And you can't write the script any better today. Everything you want to have happen from a Geelong point of view has happened perfectly. 17-13, 115 to 5-4-34. And that's a nice moment for Brandan Parfitt on the Triple M J Liquor scoreboard.
It is, and everybody says you'd feel a part of it even if you didn't get on, but you know, it's a little bit different. The handball from Brad Close again, and these players they've brought into the football club. Close has been outstanding. Tyson Stengle, just the change of mix, the pace that Geelong didn't have last year. It's been the pace that's taken them to this premiership.
Stepping through heavy traffic was Jeremy Cameron over the top. Close got it from Duncan. They're surging it forward. Here's Danger. Muscled his way through it. Snapping to the goal square. And to Koning shifted forward. That's his first goal in his career. His first goal ever on grand final day. It is a fairy tale. Sam de Koning, just his 24th career game and his first ever goal in the big time. He does it on grand final day. The prototype for the modern defender, 204 centimetres. And look at the smile on that young man's face.
Hickey, and as far as another one for Smith. Selwood, be great to see him kick a goal. Selwood on the check side. All hail Joel Selwood. He can't believe it. He's got his head in his hands. It's an emotional moment for the skipper. What a star this man is. He's going to be a four-time premiership player and premiership captain. And there looks amongst that huddle like he's a bit emotional about it as well. A check side of all things, Chieftain.
Didn't fancy the left foot, did he? Just hit the big running banana. It was a beauty. Isaac Smith involved again with a good hand pass to affect the clearance. And that's just good goal sense. Got a good piece of it.
Every storyline. De Koning kicking a goal. Selwood kicking a goal. Parfitt coming on and kicking a goal.
Look at the tears of the Selwood family there. Howie on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. His beautiful mum who's produced 4 AFL boys in the family, and his wife Brit's pregnant. They have got tears streaming down their face, the Selwood family. They all know the courage and the effort and the battle that champion has gone through, Joel Selwood, and what a moment it is for one of the great players, one of the great leaders of our game. Played more finals than anyone in the game's history. Jeremy Cameron gets on into this one. He got it from Parfitt. Jezza. What about landing Jeremy Cameron down at Geelong too, if you don't mind? They are high-fiving each other. Jeremy Cameron, he just puts another exclamation mark on it, and then he opens the can of Carlton Draft and downs it. The country boy from Country Victoria, he's going to sink a few, you reckon, in the post-game wrap-up. They're out to an 87-point lead. I haven't seen that sort of celebration before ever.
That's a good one.
On grand final day, Triple M J Liquor scoreboard. Jez has got a couple.
Just describe that again, Duke, what he did after he kicked the goal.
It's the old-fashioned can, the wide-mouthed Chief. He flicked it open and he pulled it out and he downed it, Chief. Is that kosher in 2023, Chief?
That's the thing, the sort of thing you can do when the game's been locked away for that long. You can start thinking about celebrations and fun and games, and it is on for young and old on the boundary line.